Hey Jobbies, so this is the second lesson in trigonometry. I will start from where we ended last time. And by the way, for those who don't know me, this is how I look. Yeah, at least you have seen me, sir. Okay, so today we'll look at two things. Yeah, this will still be involving. So we'll continue with special angles, and then we do angles greater than 90. So we can get started already. Special angles. A quick recap on what we did in under special angles. We followed the hand rule. So the hand has 5 fingers. These fingers should just help you to remember the 5 special angles. So I have 6, 90, 60, half of 90 is 45, and half of 60 it's 30, and the last one is 0. So when you sin, you go down. So what does this mean? This means that if you want to find cos, let's say cos 60, you should be able to know that it is square root of how many numbers are below 60? 1, 2, 3. So it will be root 3. The denominator is always 2. So root 3 over 2, that's cos 60. That's why, wait. Early in the morning, busy saying wrong things. So I meant sine 60. So this is sine 60. Okay, yeah, so sine 60 is root 3 over 5. Okay, there. And then if it's cos, you can try coming up with a mnemonic that should help you to remember that when you have cos, it goes up. So when you cos good things, you go to heaven. Anything. So cos means you count the numbers which are up above. So above 60 we have one number which is there, which is 90. So it is root 1 over 2, and root 1 you know it is 1. Okay, so this was a recap. So we didn't talk about tan. So what about tan? How do you work it out? Okay, can we use the same board? Okay. Okay, so let us go to tan. What if you have tan? So if you have been given to evaluate, for example, tan 60. So tan 60 is equal to, so you know that tan is simply sine theta over cos. So if we have tan 30, it is sine theta over cos 30. Tan shan, it is cos sine shan over sine shan. Just like that. Tan 20, it is sine 20 over cos 20. Yeah, so you get that pattern. So this means that you have to work out sine theta, or sine theta, and also cos theta. So you basically don't have to draw the angle. You can just list the numbers. So 45, 30, 0. Okay, so sine 60. Sine 60, so we're starting here. When you sin, you go down. So what is sine 60? it is root. How many numbers are below 60? 1, 2, 3. So you can actually master these, but having something to help you remember is better. So sin 60 is root 3, the denominator is always 2. Okay, so here we could have written a big fraction, and then we could have written a big dash, and then we evaluate cos 60. But instead of doing that, we will say this fraction, we make it division, a division symbol. It means the same. So what is cos 60? So cos 60, you should now know that it's 1 over 2. Yeah, so we can simplify this. You say you have root 3 over 2 times, when it becomes multiplication, you have 2 over 1. These swap. So what do we get? We're going to have 2 root 3 over 2, and these 2's can cancel. So this and that. So the final answer tan 60, it is simply root 3. So I believe you can now do tan 45. You just say sin 45 over cos 45. So yeah, and then you continue. I believe there are no problems here. If there are, you can screenshot this part and be like, hey, I didn't understand there, can you explain again? So your exercise is to work out what is tan 90, what is tan 60. You have solved this part. You can practice tan 45, tan 30, and 0. Yeah, you can work these out. So let's do one example which came in a quiz. Okay, so there we have it. Find the exact value of sin squared 45 plus cos squared 45. So this baby question had 3 marks. It came from the lecture slide, and then it was put in a quiz. So you just go step by step. So if you want, you can write on the side. Yeah, you just have to remind yourself of 60, we have 90, we have 45, there is 30, and 0. So this, what it simply means, we have sin 45 squared. Yeah, so that's the square plus that is cos 60 squared. Okay, so we have our square. So we can work out sin 45, and we can also work out cos 60. So sin 45, below 45 here, how many numbers do we have? Remember, sin goes down, so we have 1, 2. So sin 45, it's simply root 2. The denominator is always 2. And then we have our square there, plus what is cos 60? So on this one, on 60, how many things are on top of 60? How many numbers are there? We have 1, So that is root 1. Root 1 is just 1. We did this. So 1 over 2. The denominator is always 2. Okay, so from here you just have to simplify, where we'll say root 2 squared, it is just 2, because the square will cancel out with the power, and then this 2 squared is 4, plus, here I forgot to put a square, so 1 squared it's 1, over 2 squared it's 4. So when the denominators are the same, you just say over 4, and then 2 plus 1, it's 3. So we are done with this. Yeah, so we can now proceed to the other objective of this lesson. Okay, so this is a very short lesson, as if it's my height. So we come back. Remember, this is me. In case you meet me somewhere, don't feel shy to say hi. So we have done special angles. I just wanted us to have a recap and do one question. So we now go to angles greater than 90. So the quadrants are back. So angles greater than 90. So what do you remember from the previous lesson? We looked at the 4 quadrants. Okay. So we said we have 4 quadrants, and I'm sure you remember the mnemonic. So we said all students take this satanic course. All students take chemistry. Yeah, so this one is very satanic compared to the friend for semester 1. Right. So all students take chemistry. So this reminds us that in here, all the 3 trig ratios, cos, sine, tan, they are all positive. Here only sine, here only tan, and in here only cos. These are the only ones which are positive in their respective quadrants. Okay, so should we write it? Sine is positive. In here, tan is positive. In there, cos is positive. So what does this mean? This means that for the others, like in here, we can have cos in this quadrant, but when we have a cos theta here, the cos theta will be negative. Also, the tan theta will be negative. In here, tan is the only one which is positive, so sine will be negative and cos will be negative. In there, cos is the only one which is positive, so sine is negative and tan is negative. Alright, so yeah, in here everyone is positive. Alright, so that was a recap. So now we go to angles which are greater than 90. So that knowledge we need it for the quadrants. So what you observe from the special angles, these, they were all 90 and below. So do you know the quadrant in which they belong? So these angles, the quadrant where they are found, is the first quadrant. So in the first quadrant in here, That's why you find 60, 45, 30, and also 90. So in here, all the values were positive. But what if an angle is somewhere here? What if an angle is somewhere there? What if an angle is somewhere there? That will be the focus now. So we can get started with an example already. Okay, so before we even do an example, there's one more thing I have to explain. So on these quadrants, there are what they call helping angles. So an helping angle, it is the smallest angle between the resultant vector and the x-axis. So like for example, if we have this, this is like the resultant. Yeah, sounds so much like physics. So our helping angle, it is this one, the angle between this line and the x-axis. Okay, so let me do another one. So what if we have an angle there? So you can be given that this angle, they can give you, it's 120, 150. You have to know that the helping angle, it is this small angle which is between the resultant and the x-axis. So this small angle, it is the one which we'll use to evaluate, because this angle, it will usually be less than 90. So it can be 60. We can manage to do cos 60. We can manage to do sin 60. It can be 45. That angle can be 30. So it will usually be one of these three, the helping angle. Yeah, and we can have more. So we can have an angle which is here. So the helping angle, it's right here, the angle between the resultant and the x-axis. Alright, so even here, let me do the last one. So we have 4 different types of helping angles. There is also, if a resultant vector is there, the helping angle is always between the x-axis and the resultant. Okay, anybody confused? No. Yeah, so the angles which will be given, usually they start from the positive x-axis going all the way like that. Starts from here, goes up to there. And we can have negative angles. We'll discuss all those. So having introduced that, we can now proceed. So what example we start with? If you have been given to evaluate, find the exact value of cos 160. I'm debating which one should we use. Okay, so our first example, let's take cos 150. They say find the exact value. So how you find the exact value of this? You have to remember, you have to draw the Cartesian plane, and then you have to know where is cos 150, or where is 150, just 150. Like if we start moving, this is 90, and then we start going this side, before you can reach 180, 150 will be somewhere here. So you should be able to know that 150 is this angle, this one, this is 1, 50 degrees. Right. So want to do cos 150. So we don't have a way in which we can quickly do this. So this is where the helping angle comes in. So the helping angle, we said it's this angle between the x-axis and the, this is actually the terminal ray. Okay, we have initial ray, terminal ray, but it's more convenient to say resultant because that's what we understand better. So our helping angle is this. So if this is 150, what is this angle? So we just have to know that if this angle, if this angle reached this point, we could have 180, but it hasn't reached that point. We have removed a small portion. So we'll simply say we have 180 minus 150. That is the angle which is here. So 180 minus 150, we get 30. Okay, so our helping angle is 30. So at this point, it simply means we are going to have cos. So instead of writing cos 150, we can actually write cos 30. We can write cos 30. My 3 is very bad. Okay, so we'll write cos 30. Better. So cos 30, and then don't forget the quadrants. We have simplified this, and then now let's work on the quadrant. This is the second quadrant. In the second quadrant, is cos positive or it's negative? You ask yourself, is it positive or negative? So you have to remember the mnemonic. Or students take chemistry. So cos is just positive in the fourth quadrant and in the first quadrant. So in here it means cos is negative. So that means here we write negative cos 30. You are following? We have written cos negative 30. So this was the purpose of me starting with this. So have you seen in the second quadrant, cos is negative. No wonder we've written negative cos 30. Yeah, so from here now, we have to remember the hand. Okay, so things are now getting involving. So if you remember the hand, so we have 90, 60, 45, 30, 0. So we want to evaluate cos 30. Cos, you go up. So after cos 30, how many numbers do we have? We have 45, 60, 90. We have 3 numbers. So cos 30, it's simply, so have a negative. So this part, cos 30, it is root 3 over the denominator is always over 2. So if we have evaluated, that was a lot of work. So I hope you are writing down. Yeah, it's easier for you to revise than you start getting a book, you start coming to the video again at the last minute. What if network trips? Okay, so we have evaluated that sine 150 is equal to negative root 3 over 2. Baby stuff. So let's do another one. So this will come from the lecture slide now. Before we jump to the lecture slides, we can take a look at the tutorial sheet. Yeah, so the tutorial sheet is like our objective, something that should help us know how we are moving. So I've zoomed in. I hope you're able to see. If you still can't see, zoom in on your phone. Okay, so we've been doing a lot. We learned on how to answer these. So just take note of this question. We're coming back to it, where we have to deal with these. Okay, so in today's lesson, so last time we even agreed that me answered this, I also answered this. I hope on your part you answered this too. So in today's lesson, we are finding the exact values of those, and then they've been saying without using a calculator. Do not use a calculator or a table. So the question I've just answered, I didn't know that it's actually here. It's in the tutorial sheet. So that's cos 150. I've done it for you. And then sine 225. We can quickly do it fast. So sine 225, you have to know where does 225 fall in the quadrants. So this, when we start going, that's 90, 180. Before we reach 270 here, that's where we have 225. So if you still have trouble on identifying where a specific angle is, you can let me know. So 225 is in this quadrant. So this is our angle 225. And then I have to identify the helping angle. So the helping angle, it is the helping angle, it is this angle. Remember, it should always be between the x-axis and the resultant vector. It should be between the x-axis and the resultant vector. So I almost made the mistake. I wanted to say the helping angle is this. Okay, so that's wrong. The helping angle is right there. So we have our 225 and then the helping angle is there. So in this case, for you to know the helping angle, here we say, and you should watch the reel. I made a short reel which should help you to know how to calculate. Yeah, so like here, the helping angle, you say it's 180 plus, sorry. Not 180, we'll say. So here, remember the angle is moving like this. Here it reached 180, and then it went all the way up to 225. So the helping angle is 225 minus 180. So what do you get when you say 225 minus 180? So don't use a calculator. This is the best time to practice. So 225 minus 180, you get 45. So come here, let's use this space. Okay. So we have our helping angle is 45. Want to answer this one here, sine 225. So sine, it's sine. So sine 225 is just the same as writing sine 45 because of the helping angle. And then don't forget the sign of the positive, or the sign of the quadrant. So the quadrant we are in is the third quadrant. So in the third quadrant, sign is negative. Yeah, so make sure you draw the table. All students take chemistry. So the helping angle is here. So sine is only positive in here and in there. So in here sine is negative. So sine 225 is equal to negative sine 45. And then from the hand now, how there's a lot. Like you remember the hand, 90, 60, 45. Yeah, that hand which we drew. So from the hand, you should be able to remember that sine 45, the numbers which are below 45, they are 2. So here we have 2. So there we have 2 over the denominator is always over 2. So I've answered sine 225. Sine 225 it's negative root 2 over 2. Okay, so that was it. We've answered this. Yeah, so make sure you're writing, you practice, consult where you are not so clear. And then tan 30. Tan 30, how do you do it? Okay, let's go back to our board. We've finished the space there. So tan 30, it's tan 330. If we have tan 330 E, so 330, do you know where it is? It's here. Yeah, because this is 270 and then somewhere here, that's why I'll find 330. So our helping angle, so before that, it means 330 is this one. And our helping angle, it is this portion which is between, the portion which is between what? Between the x-axis and the resultant. So this is the helping angle. So like I have said, you should check out the rule. Like so, to find this helping angle, we're going to say is 360 minus the whole lot of the original. So 360 minus 330, we get 30. So this means that tan 330 can actually be written as tan 30. But let's check the sign. So in here we say yeah. Okay, so this is students take. So if the angles in here, tan could have been positive. So but in here, this is the area for just course. All students take chemistry. So sine or tan is negative. So I have negative tan 30. And then you would have to work out tan 30. What is tan 30? Tan 30 is what? Tan 30. No wonder I introduced that part when we started this lesson. So tan 30. What is tan 30? You should be able to remember that it's sine 30 over cos 30. Alright. Yeah, so we would have to work out sine 30 and then also work out cos 30. And not forgetting that there's a negative. Okay, so at this point I'm even very tired. So what is sine 30? So sine 30, you should be able to know that it's 1 over 2. Yeah, so if you haven't mastered this, you can just be drawing the hand. It's better you know where to start from than you master and then you forget later on. So sin 30 it's 1 over 2 divide by cos 30 it is even me I've forgotten. Why should I suffer when we can work it out? 90, 60, 45, 30, 0. So cos 30 we're starting from here going up. So I have 1, 2, 3. Oh, we even discussed this. So cos 30 it is root 3 over 2. Okay, so cos 30 is root 3 over 2. So this means we have 1 over 2 times 2 over root 2. When this changes to division, this will be multiplication. So we're going to have 2 over 2 root 2 when we multiply. So this will cancel with that. And our final answer, don't forget tan, we said it's negative. So negative 1 over root 2. So here it's 1, here you just remain with root 2. Okay, we've answered that. Let's go to our tutorial. Okay, so we've answered this. So we have, I told you we have 6 trig ratios. We've been looking at tan, sine, and cos. Yeah, so in the other lesson, we'll just focus on this alone, and yeah, we have a lot to deal with. Yeah. So now from here we can. So these are the other special, the uncommon ones. Yeah, so come back to this. So we're now going to answer this one. We'll come back to answer this and this and this. Yeah, so you have known how to answer, to do sine 225, sine this, sine that. Okay, yeah. So the purpose of our lessons, later on I won't be answering everything for you. I'll just show you, okay, this you answer like this. So it's better I teach you how to answer 80% of the questions just by teaching you 20%, and you're able to answer 80%, than me answering everything. I answer for you question 1 up to what. So if I keep on answering without you understanding, then I'm just teaching myself. Okay, so we'll take a break. I'll leave you with an exercise. I'll leave you with an exercise which you have to work on. Okay, so here is the work. Yeah, so they say evaluate cos 210. This is a lot, and ounce of the whole lot of it. So this is where the next lesson will start from. But I believe you can manage. If you even want to be perfect, yeah, at math you can be almost perfect. If you try to answer all of these, you always start with drawing this caffeine. So 210 is here. That's where 210 is. 210 is the whole lot of this. This is 210. So your helping angle is this one. So to find the helping angle, it's 210 minus 180. So this is like the one we answered for 220. So 210 minus 180, what do you get? You get 30. So your helping angle is 30. So you start with finding cos. So in here, cos is negative. So cos cos 210 is equal to negative cos 30. So remember, all students take chemistry. In here, only tan is positive. So meaning cos will be negative. So you can work out this. What is cos 30? Cos 30, I think we said it's root 3 over 2. I hope I'm right. Yeah, so you always draw your hand. 90, 60, 45, 30. Cos you go up. So above this 30, how many numbers do we have? We have 1, 2, 3. No wonder we have root 3 over 2. You've seen, I've already answered this for you. And then sin 210. So I want you to do this and that. Yeah, so remember, practice makes perfect. You can get it wrong, but that will be the lesson you learn from. Yeah, so work out these two. I've already answered this one just here. Yeah, you can also go the extra mile. You try answering this. While you still have time, answer this as well. And then the important exercise here, this one, you just have to solve. If you want to solve this exercise here, you might regret. Yeah, so you might regret in the next lesson. Yeah, but don't be afraid. Yeah, but this one, you just make sure you answer it, and you are not going to inbox me like I've answered, or maybe you can do if you want to confirm, but that's what the next lesson will focus on. So I want you to change the following into degrees. So if you have 2 pi over 3, what is this equal to in degrees? And what if you have 4 pi over 3? Can you convert to degrees? So this is why you have to remember the introductory lesson we had. We talked about conversions, and you should also do negative 5 pi over 3. Okay, I don't know if you're able to see. Okay, but that's for today. So yeah, I want you to do these 3. If you don't, then I don't know what you are looking for. You are looking for trouble. I'll be with you. Okay, so end here. Yeah, have a great day, and we'll continue tomorrow. Bye bye. Thou shalt solve.